Hey everyone, this is virtually BGCMC. I'm Mr. Jonathan. In this video, we're going to draw Ruby Gillman, the Teenage Kraken, and we're going to start all the way up here, close to the top of the page, circle for the head. We could get pretty close to the top of the page because we're not going to go any higher than this. Character's not wearing a hat or has big hair or anything. So I like to fill up the page as much as I can. I'll start up here and then drop the neck. The neck is going to be long and thin. But as you can see, most of it's going to be covered up by the turtleneck. So you want to start off lightly for the parts we're going to cover up and erase later. It'll be easier to just erase that when it comes time. Shoulders are going to be very narrow, just about to there. So from here, we're gonna draw the body and the legs all in one big shape. And we're gonna practice again those gestures, the gesture lines and poses that we practiced before. This one here is gonna swing all the way from the shoulder and curve down to the toe. So what it's gonna look like is this. If you want to make her pose even more exaggerated, what you could do is really curve these lines. We'll go all the way down here. So we'll see how that looks. I'll exaggerate the pose on this one a little bit more, just so you could see the difference and how far you could really push these poses. But this curve is gonna go all the way down to here. So it's gonna be less, a little bit less of a curve compared to this one. Something like that. Okay. Looks kind of funny so far, but trust me, once we start adding more pieces, it'll all start to make sense. The legs are gonna meet about here. So I'm gonna draw this side of the legs going that way. Notice how I'm trying to get these lines all in one big motion. What it does is it helps you to get a smoother pose and just get your curves nice and smooth, instead of if I was just trying to do it piece by piece. You know, the curves might not turn out so well. But we got the legs here a little bit more spread out on this one compared to this one, but again, that's what we're going for. Here, the arms, we want a big curve at the elbow for the bend. If you compare this to some other characters we've drawn, bending their arms, the elbows we've drawn sometimes are a lot pointier. But the style of this character is very long and flowy. So that's what we're trying to capture with these basic shapes to start off with. Something like that. This arm is going to go a little bit down at first compared to this one, and then curve up towards the head. So you want to leave some room here between the end of the arm and the head. So we have some space to fit the hands in here. You see that? Kind of looking like a character that I knew growing up called Gumby. I don't know if anyone knows about Gumby nowadays, but kind of what it looks like with all the long limbs, very smooth curves. But these are the basic shapes that we're gonna need. From here, let's start getting the details in. So off the bat, I will say for the head, if you can, at least for this side, draw very lightly, because we have a lot of things overlapping, like the sunglasses, the hands, and the hair. And depending how you fit everything in, even the eyes, well, the eyes are being overlapped by the sunglasses. So here's how we're gonna go about it. Let's start with the hair going down this way. Well, if you want to get your midline in here, you can. The character's pretty simple, so I didn't use a midline here, but if it helps you, you can. I'm gonna drop the hair going down this way, pretty much to the shoulders. Okay, get these points going in here and here. And then what I want to do next is we'll put the glasses in, and try not to go too high with the glasses. The first time I drew this one, I went way too high, so there wasn't room for the eyes to peek out above. So what I'm gonna do is actually pretty low. You want these glasses pretty low. I'm gonna draw a line going straight across this way, and then the lenses are gonna go down and meet pretty much in the middle. Same thing here. Okay. And then from here, we could get the eyes peeking out from above. Just these half oval shapes. If you need to, you could adjust the hair and make some more room for the eyes. I might do that a little bit later. We'll see. Get the eyebrows in here. In the reference I was looking at, this eyebrow, the one on this side was lower than the one on this side. So you can make it something like this. Okay. I think I will spread out the hair a little bit more. Maybe go out just a tad. Okay. This side of the hair, I'm going to just finish this spike and then go from the top. And the hair, I notice, is pretty flat, so you don't need to go above the circle really at all. The circle, the basic shape we made at the start, you could keep the hair falling right on that. Then when we get to about here, put the spike in. That should be fine. All right, so before I complete the hair on this side, what I want to do is let's finish out the sleeve here, because we want to put the hand in. These fingers are going to be overlapping, so we don't want to draw the hair and then have to draw the hands over it. But we'll get this sleeve in place. I'll draw the cuff in here. All right, and then for the hand, what we'll do is we'll get this little part coming out first out of the sleeve. It's like the wrist area. And then the thumb and the forefingers, you want to try to make it look like this, like they're pinching onto the glasses. So we'll start with the thumb. And our target is right here, the corner of the glasses. We'll get the thumb like that first. This line is going to circle around back to there. And then finish this finger. From here, we just gotta draw 2 more fingers. I'm gonna bend mine going this way, just so they're out of the way of this part of the head and hair. But if you want to bend them more this way, because this one, the angle of the hand is actually going over here more. Here, it's pointed more straight up. But what I'm gonna do is add the fingers here, and then here. And we'll just bring it back down to the wrist. Now that that's done, we'll get the hair. So what I'm picturing is the hairs coming across top of the head, going through the side, and then we're gonna skip over the fingers, draw this part of the hair that's showing in between, like the gap between the fingers, and then finish the spikes over here. This should go a little higher. There we go. Now that we have everything in place, we could set all our details for the head. What I'm gonna do here is shade in the sunglasses. And then between the two lenses, if you want to make your bridge a little bit wider, make this line a little thicker. I think that makes it look a little bit better, more like sunglasses, right? And then we'll get the pupils in here, just peeking out from the glasses, and the smile, just a little half smile. When we draw the jaw going down here, you don't need to draw your line cutting all the way through. What I'm gonna do is draw the line to the neck and then drop down a little bit here. Don't darken this whole line up because we still need to have the turtleneck. I'm just gonna do a little part of it. And then from here, I'm gonna leave the guidelines in for now, just so you could see the difference of where all these lines are crossing if you still need to see that reference. And you can see the clean version here if you need to. So the turtleneck is gonna go around this way, just gonna be a little rectangle. Overlap, you could overlap the collarbone here a little as well. And because I'm gonna draw some details, the ribbing in the turtleneck, I'm gonna get rid of these guidelines here. Okay, and then just a few lines going down this way. To finish up the arms, we'll go down here. As you get to the wrist, what you can do is make this part of the sleeve a little bit fluffier for the cuff. That's what I did here. And then you could add the line cutting that off. Circle back around this way. And then here you could just add the lines, kind of like how we did for the turtleneck. I'm gonna have to make the wrist and hand a lot longer on this side, because what I'm noticing is I ended the sleeve a little bit far. So what it's gonna look like is this. We'll make this line go all the way to the body. Once we get there, we're gonna curve down and then just swirl the fingers going this way. And from here, we just connect. All right. I'm gonna just complete this arm, darken up these lines here. And what I'm seeing, how this one is turning out, I think the waist, you wanna get the waist, the top of the shorts where it meets the sweater, kind of around the area the hand is connecting to the body. So I think right here would probably be a good place. I'm gonna cut that off there, finish off the sweater. If you want to add a little curve here and here at the very bottom of the sweater, just to make it look like there's a little volume of the sweater, and kind of like it's being tucked into the shorts a little bit, you could do that. I like the look of that. And then here, just a little bit below where the legs are meeting, you could put some rectangles in. It's gonna be the bottom of the shorts. She has jean shorts over these leggings here. These ones are kind of long compared to these. I think that's okay. I think because we exaggerated the pose a lot more on this side, that's why it's turning out that way. We'll get the fly or the zipper for the jeans and the pockets here and here. There we go. And almost done. So to finish it off, what I'm gonna do is mark across here on both sides first for the top of the socks. I want them to be pretty even. So these are gonna be the top of the socks. And then we'll go down with these shapes here, going a little bit out past the ends of the legs, just to give it a little bit more volume for the socks. Here and here. Again, trying to get them to be the same height on the top and on the bottom. Because from here, the boots are gonna come down. And what I'm doing is just following the shape that we set up at the start. And at the very bottom of the shape, add the toes going this way. See that? Same thing here, following the shape, and then the toes here. This foot is a little turned and pointed more. That's why the toes I made a little bit longer. Here, this foot is pointed a little bit more towards the viewer. So that's why they look just a little different. And then the final details here for the feet and the boots. We'll draw this curve here to separate the toe. And then there's these lines going down the front. We'll do that on both sides. Okay. This one here gets a little bit closer to the heel compared to this side. And the curves on this one as well. For the laces going across, one easy trick you could do is if you just draw a rectangle, a long rectangle, here at the end, draw a circle, and then that kind of makes it look like you have the lace right here, and then this is the part of the shoe where you stick the laces through. There we go. Kind of ran out of room for this third one. I think it's okay though. I will do the same thing for this side. After this, a couple final details. We'll be all done. Here we go. Shoelace with a circle. What I'm going to do here for the socks is just like the cuffs for the sweater and the turtleneck part. We'll add some lines for the ribbing, the final details. There we go. Then I'll darken up the legs here. Okay. And draw some stripes for the leggings. What I'm doing is grouping two close together and then spreading these far apart. I'll add a little bit more on this compared to this one. Okay, now all that's left is to get rid of all the parts we don't need. Let's do some erasing here. There we go. See, once you get rid of all these guidelines in this area, it starts to look a lot cleaner. All right, I think that's pretty good. So there you go, everybody. That's Ruby Gillman, the Teenage Kraken. I hope your drawing turned out well. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye, everyone.